Hello everyone. In my last video students, I have taught you to derive the dimension of certain physical quantities, and I have given you the task to determine the dimension of universal gravitational constant that is represented by the symbol capital G. So what is the step number 1 to derive the dimension of any physical quantity? You have to find a formula in which G is involved. It means we are aware about force between two masses, that is F equals G m1 m2 divides by r square. We have to find out the dimensional formula of G keeping G aside. हमें क्या करना है, G को एक तरफ रखना है. It will be F into r square upon m1 m2. F r square upon m1 m2. Yes students, I have told you that you have to learn the dimensional formula of F only. It is m1 l1 t minus 2 within square bracket. R is the separation between two masses. If m1 is the mass of first, m2 is the mass of second, and r is the separation between two masses, then dimension of r will be L. So it will be L square. M first mass, second mass both having the same dimension represented by m, it will be m square. Combining them and arranging in a sequence of MLT, we will find out the dimensional formula of universal gravitational constant. It will be 1 minus 2 minus 1 L3 t minus 2. So it is the dimensional formula of universal gravitational constant. But if I want to find out the dimensional equation, I have to write the symbol of physical quantity within square bracket. So it is a dimensional equation. Okay. Now second, I have told you how to find out the dimensional formula of universal gravitational constant. Now Planck's constant. So what is the step number 1 to be followed? That I have to find out the formula in which H is involved, and the formula you have to learn, E equals H into nu, where E is the energy, H is the Planck's constant, and nu is the frequency. We have to find out the dimensional formula of H. So keeping H aside, that is equal to E by nu. Energy is for work done. I have told you that energy equals work done. Okay, as energy equals work done, so that is force into displacement. So I can substitute here force into displacement upon frequency. Frequency is reciprocal of time, because frequency means what? Frequency is number of waves completed in 1 second. So it is number per unit time. So its dimensional formula is t minus 1. Substituting m1 l1 t minus 2, that is for force, and for displacement it is L, and for frequency, which is reciprocal of time, 1 upon t, I can write it t minus 1. Again arranging them in a order, m l t within square bracket, m1 l2 t minus 1. That is the dimensional formula of Planck's constant. Okay, so from this you have come to know that for deriving dimension of any physical quantity, you have to learn the formula. So a table is given in your NCERT book, that is appendix 9, from which you can learn the formula and revise your dimensional formula also. So on the basis of dimension, I can divide physical quantities broadly into two categories. First one is dimensional and the second one is dimensionless. Okay, so dimensional and dimensionless, which can be further classified into two groups: dimensional constant and dimensional variable. Dimensionless constant and dimensionless variables. So I can say that there are total 4 types of physical quantities on the basis of dimension. First one is dimensional constant. Dimensional constant means having dimension but constant value. Constant value but possess dimension. इनके पास डायमेंशन होता है. Such physical quantities are termed as dimensional constant. For example, value constant but possess some dimension. I have told you in today's lecture that Planck's constant, its value is fixed 6.62 into 10 raised to power minus 34 joule second. It is the value of Planck's constant. Don't worry, you have no need to learn, but where universal gravitational constant have value 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11. Don't worry, no learning, but I want to make you clear that its value is constant, still having dimension. Constant value but dimension, so it is termed as dimensional constant. So I have to provide you certain examples. Number 1, speed of light in vacuum. All of you are very well aware about this, speed of light in vacuum. Second one, universal gravitational constant. Third one, Planck's constant. More you will go through in class 11, just like Rydberg constant, Boltzmann constant, gas constant, but these 3 that you have to go through right now. Second one is dimensional variable. Means what? Having dimension but changing value, not constant value. Means what? इनके पास अपनी वैल्यूज हैं बट वैल्यूज फिक्स नहीं है. इट मीन्स वेरिएबल मैग्नीट्यूड but possess dimension. So they are termed as dimensional variable. For example, area. Area may be of a A4 size sheet or a A3 size sheet, or area of your whiteboard in your class, anything in your surrounding or neighborhood, all are having different magnitude. It means variable magnitude but dimension same, that is L2. Area, volume, speed, density, acceleration, force, work, power, momentum, all these are dimensional variables. Third one, that is dimensionless constant. Value constant but do not possess any dimension. Constant magnitude, magnitude means value, but no dimension, dimensionless. For example, all the natural number or pure numbers 1, 2, 3 up to so on pi, its value is fixed 22 by 7 or 3.142 so on, and e, that's value is 2.7. all these are having fixed magnitude but no dimension, so they are termed as dimensionless constant. And the last one is dimensionless variable. Dimensionless, it means no dimension, but variable means changing magnitude, not fixed value. For example, speed, angle just like theta equals L by R. Length cancel out, no unit, no dimension, but unit is there for angle, that is radian. Okay, I have taught you in my previous video. Angle, trigonometric angle, tangent theta, sine theta, cos theta, sine 30 is having different value, sine 60 is having different value. So value is changing but no dimension. Similarly, refractive index, speed of light in vacuum to the speed of light in particular medium, or specific gravity, density of body upon density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. These all are having no dimension, so they are dimensionless. But different substances have different refractive index, different medium have different specific gravity, refractive index, so these are changing value, that's why they are termed as dimensionless variables. Okay, so these were the division of physical quantity on the basis of dimensions. Now let's start what are the applications of this dimensional analysis. Now we have to start what are the application of dealing dimension of physical quantities, dealing all the physical quantity with their dimension, it means dimensional analysis. What are the application of dimension analysis? Mainly there are 3 applications of dimensional analysis. What these are? By using dimensional analysis or using dimension of physical quantity, we can convert any unit from one system to another. It means system of units can be changed from one system to another. Okay, it is our first application. And the second one is by using dimension we can correct whether the given equation is dimensionally correct or not. It means to check the correctness of any equation or formula dimensionally. And the last one is to derive the formula. We will deal with each and every application based on dimension step by step. So the first one, convert unit from first system to second. Not only giving theoretical content, I will make it clear using certain numericals so as to make the concept more clear. So the first one is to convert system of units from first system to second. As we know, if we want to measure the length of a table, someone call it 4 meter, someone call it 400 centimeter. So by changing the system of unit, quantity remains constant. It means what? N1 U1 equals N2 U2, because each and every quantity is denoted by number then unit, number then unit. So N1 is the number in first system of unit and U1 is its first unit. N2 is the number in second system of unit having unit U2. But it's clear to all that quantity remains changed, so there is no change in over. Let M1, L1, T1. These are fundamental units of mass, length and time. One means in first system of unit. It means I want to change this one into another having M2, L2, T2. That are fundamental units of mass, length and time in new, that is the second system of unit. The quantity that is being considered physical quantity, as we know in dimensional analysis, each and every physical quantity is represented in terms of exponent of M, L and T. So A, B, C are dimension of mass, length and time. I am not mentioning here whether it is first system or second system of units, because by changing the system of units, unit and dimension doesn't change. It means if units dimension doesn't change means what? If I am saying that velocity is in meter per second or centimeter per second or kilometer per hour, each and every units having same dimension, that L, T minus 1. Okay, clear? So A, B, C are dimension, are exponent, are powers in terms of M, L, T. Now we have to find out new number N2 from equation star. N2 equals N1 U1 upon U2. N1 is the first number in first system of unit that will be given to us in our numerical sample problem. And U1 and U2 first unit and second unit. So first will be M1, L1, T1 with dimension A, B, C. Now second one M2, L2, T2 with dimension A, B, C. Combining these, we will get the result N1 into M1 by M2 whole power A, L1 by L2 whole power B, T1 by T2 whole power C. Okay, so we can write the formula in this way, where N2 equals this one. I will give you a sample problem to make the concept clear. Let I want to convert 1 Newton or 10 raised to power 3 Newton into dynes. It means you want new number. Newton and dyne are units of force. Newton and dyne both are unit of force, where Newton is the SI unit of force and dyne is the CGS unit of force. So it means we want to convert 10 raised to power 3 Newton, which is in SI system, into new system, that is CGS1 dyne. Okay. So what is the way? We have to find out M1, M2, L1, L2, T1, T2, A, B, C, N1. Don't worry, it's appear to cumbersome, but it's so easy. What is M1? Mass in first one. As first one is our SI. SI means SI system is having mass unit 1 kilogram, length 1 meter, time 1 second. M2 mass in second one. Second one is CGS 1 gram, 1 centimeter, 1 second. What is the dimension formula of force? That is M1 L1 T minus 2. So dimensional formula of force having A equals 1, B equals 1, C equals minus 2. Okay. What is number in first one? That is 10 raised to power 3. Substituting these all in formula, N2 equals N1 into M1 by M2 power A, L1 by L2 power B, T1 by T2 power C. So what is N1? 10 raised to power 3. What is M1? M1 is mass in first one, which is kilogram. Mass in second 1 gram. A is 1. L1 1 meter, 1 centimeter, power B. B is again 1. Next T1. What is T1 here? 1 second. T2 1 second. 1 second by 1 second will be 1 and power minus 2. Students, point to be noted, 1 is having any power, either 0, positive or negative. The result will be 1. So it will be 1. Continue. 10 raised to power 3. 1 kilogram has kilo. Kilo means 10 raised to power 3 gram upon 1 gram. 1 meter is 100. 10 raised to power 2 centimeter upon 1 centimeter into 1. Mentioning power here. 1 raised to power anything is 1. So it is 1 here. 10 raised to power 3. Gram cancel with gram. So it will be 10 raised to power 3 power 1. It means same. Next, centimeter cancel with centimeter. 10 raised to power 2 power 1. Again 10 raised to power 2. 3 plus 3 6. 6 plus 2 8. Because base same, powers are to be added. 10 raised to power 8. So 10 raised to power 3 Newton equal 10 raised to power 8 dyne. So 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to power 5 dyne. I have told you how to convert one system of unit into another, but result can be find out. You have to learn this formula, that 1 Newton equals 10 raised to power 5 dyne. Okay, I am giving you a practice problem that you have to convert 1 joule into erg, where joule and erg are unit of work. Joule is the SI unit of work and erg is the CGS unit of work. It means you have to convert SI system to CGS one. Okay, so I am telling you the result will come 10 raised to power 7. So check yourself whether the result is correct or not. If you are having any query, you may ask. From the next video, I will provide you remaining 2 applications of dimensional analysis. Thank you. Have a nice day.